effects of the 10th house from Kārakāṁśa.
Okay.
Go ahead, Parashara.
If from the Kārakāṁśa in the 10th house there is the conjunction or aspect of a benefic, the native will have firm riches, be sagacious, strong, and intelligent.
Read one more sentence.
If in the 10th house from the Kārakāṁśa there is a conjunction or aspect of a malefic, the native will suffer losses in his trade and will be deprived of paternal bliss.
Okay.
Happiness from the father?
Yeah. So 40. So right there, we just got, he said, benefics in the 10th from Kārakāṁśa make you wealthy and intelligent. Malefics make you poor and not have the grace of your father. What's Jenny say?
Beneficial aspects, conjunctions on the 10th house produce stable fortunes.
That's it.
Yeah.
What does sagacious mean? Does that mean wise?
Sagacious, wise. Someone who's like a sage.
Like a sage, okay.
Yeah. The next verse in Parashara is not in Jainani.
If in the above situation there is a conjunction or aspect of Mercury and Venus, the native will have many gains in his trade and will do many great deeds. If from the Kārakāṁśa in the 10th house there is the conjunction or the aspect of the sun and the moon, and O Vipra, if they have the aspect or the conjunction with Jupiter, the native will acquire a kingdom.
Okay, so benefics make somebody wealthy. Money comes easy. You see benefics in the 4th house of the Navamsha, the person easily makes money. Malefics, they have a hard time making money. It's a quick way to rectify the Navamsha.
Benefics in the 4th, is that what we said?
10th house of the Navamsha.
So 10th and 4th.
And this one you see generally more from the Navamsha like that.
Now, it easily makes money. Okay, I have both of these. I don't have a lot of money, but I don't, it's not hard getting money.
Exactly.
I mean,
this is showing your Bhagya, your luck.
I mean, I get to make money doing what I do as a hobby.
So I have K2 there. K2 means 0. So at work I have no money. I get a house and then I'm working really even harder and then the money goes to that. Like whatever I do, I don't have like pocket change, you know? It's just like it disappears. It all just goes.
If you own a house and I don't.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I rent out the rooms and I make the mortgage payment, but that's about it. There's nothing left over. You know, we need some electricity work done and there's no money to pay for it. You know, so it's just like, it's K2. It's just showing 0.
And K2's in your 4th in the Navamsha?
10th. This is 10th house in the Navamsha.
Okay.
So this is showing how easily money comes. So malefics make it hard, benefics make it easy, K2 makes it, who knows where it is. But K2 is Ganesh, so it can be changed. Gotta make Ganesh happy. Okay. So, but do you see Parashara just says beneficial aspects produces stable fortunes on the 10th. That's it, one line. Parashara gave this whole big thing. So Jaimini and many of these places just, it's very short. If we actually look, it's only 3 words. Shubham drishti steya. That's it. That's all he says. Parashara, we have this huge, all these verses. But they're saying basically the same thing. And so now we're 11th from the Kārakāṁśa, which is in Parashara, not Jaimini.
Okay, if in the 11th house from the Kārakāṁśa there is the conjunction or aspect of a benefic, the native will have happiness from his brothers and also have gains in everything undertaken by him. If in the 11th house from the Kārakāṁśa there is a malefic, then there is no doubt in it that the native will have gains through questionable means, will be famous and valorous.
Okay. This is an important one to look at from a Ruda Lagna. Malefics in 11th from a Ruda Lagna show gains from questionable means. Benefics there show gains from good means.
And if nothing's there, no gains at all.
Well, look at the Lord. What's the Lord? So if you look at a chart and somebody says, somebody said my business partner stole this much money and he says he didn't, I don't know whether to believe him. Are there benefics or malefics? Or there's two partners and one stole it and you need to figure out which one stole the money. Look at that 11th from the Aruda Lagna. Which one has a benefic association with the 11th from Aruda Lagna? Which one has malefic connection with the 11th from Aruda Lagna?
And that's in the Rasi because you're looking at the Aruda Lagna?
Yeah. That's where you see it the most. All the other places will show similarity relative. But that's where you'll see it. That's where I've noticed it working the most through my experience.
I just thought of something. My partner has 11th has Saturn 11th from the Aruda Lagna.
Uh-huh.
And Sanjay told him he needed to invest in stuff ruled by Saturn, like oil and steel and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking back in his youth, he forged coins.
Forged coins.
He was an expert forger that could pass for ancient Italian who's living in Italy. He was just, they passed too.
Yeah. Well, he would forge coins, and now what is oil? Is oil questionable means to make money or what? So
Taking Sanjay's advice.
well, he's telling him how he best make money.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Use your Saturn. He said the Saturn is what's going to make you money.
and investing in oil will do it, but it's just a shady, oil. Look what you're supporting when you invest in oil. So, but that's Saturn, 11th from Aruda Lagna.
Yeah.
So, okay. Prashara, 63. Interesting information here, though, isn't it? Is this a really packed full of information chapter or what?
Amazing.
It's great, yeah. Are we on 61?
63.
Oh,
Right?
we did 11.
Yeah.
Effects of the 12th from Kārakāṁśa. If in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa there is a benefic, the native's expenses will be on good deeds, while in case malefic be there, his expenses will be on vicious deeds.
Keep going.
If there is no planet in the 12th house, the expenses will be on good deeds.
Okay. So this is, Jaimini doesn't have this verse. But basically, I've seen this mostly from Aruda Lagna. 12th from Aruda Lagna showing what your expenses are on. Bad things or good things. What's making you waste your money? Sun there shows that most of your money goes to taxes, the government. It'll also show up in other places as what you lose to. But from the Lagna, it's more what you put your energy into versus what you lose your money from. Navamsha Lagna, it's more, shows like why you're going into the hospital. What kinds of hospitals you're going into. So it's not the same. And from Kārakāṁśa, what's it show?
It shows
Spend your...
what subverts you fulfilling your desires.
what you
Think
spend
deeper.
what you spend.
12 from Kārakāṁśa.
Oh, what you surrender your desires for.
I like that. Let's follow up with that. What you surrender your desires for. What makes you surrender your desires?
Pain.
Who helps you surrender your desires? The soul's desires. If we can let go of the soul's desires, we can chant the name of Hari all day long and be unattached to Maya.
Is that why the Ishtadevata is there?
That's why the Ishtadevata is there. So look at the next verses. Go ahead and read the next few verses. And this is why Sanjay teaches that the 12th from Kārakāṁśa is the Ishtadevata. Is this whole next section.
Okay. If there is an exalted benefic planet, or a planet in his own house in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa, the native will attain heaven after death.
68. Jaimini.
Benefics in the 12th from Swamsha take the soul to an auspicious world after death.
So the person attains more heavenly worlds with benefics there. So did you notice when I looked at that woman's chart? You told me she was spiritual. First thing I did was I looked at her Atma Karaka and looked at 12th from it. And I saw Saturn and Mars. Read the next verse.
Okay. In case in the 12th from the Kārakāṁśa Ketu is in conjunction with or aspected by a benefic planet, then also the native will attain heavens after death and also final emancipation.
Okay. Well, let's just go with that last verse. It said if there's benefits, the person attains final emancipation. They attain the higher worlds. And so the opposite, if there's malefics there, they attain lower worlds from doing negative things with their worship. So that's why when we see malefics, 12th from the Kārakāṁśa, we want to help them advise to more sattvic worship. Because they're going to be attracted to more tamasic worship. So we want to help guide them to sattvic forms of worship, to make them attain higher worlds.
What's tamasic worship? You mean like voodoo or something?
Voodoo, worshipping all kinds of weird gods, and just doing all kinds of, there's some
this,
weird religious cults
This
out there.
person,
Yeah, you know, that kind of...
this person was involved with, the community in Italy called Damanhur.
Oh, wonderful.
What's it called?
Damanhur, I think it's called. It's
Diamond Heart?
No.
Damanhur.
Damanhur. It's
over in Italy.
It's in Torino.
Oh yes.
She was involved with that,
Yeah.
and
What's
now
to do with
she,
I don't know. I've heard of it. I've seen a video.
she's still involved, but
Mhm.
not so closely.
Yeah.
But she's into the Pleiadians, channeling kind of thing,
Yeah.
So, would you consider that a lower entity?
Palladians are very high things. They're the mothers of the Vedas.
Yeah, so that's what she's involved with.
Yeah, but just something to, watch for when you see that in a chart. And to
And
make
that's
sure...
in the
Does she
Navamsa
have?
then.
Does she
In
have
the
malefics in
Kārakāṁśa.
her? No.
Yeah,
from
you go from the
Kārakāṁśa.
Kārakāṁśa, that's
Yeah.
the
The upper
upper
Karka
Karaka in the Navamsa, and
Yeah.
then you go 12 from
12th
that.
from it. Yeah.
Could it be that if a person has Saturn or Mars associated with that, they may not have any spiritual inclinations, they just might be like materialist or atheist.
Whether how deep it goes, you have to really examine the whole chart.
Oh, yeah.
This is showing about liberation from this world.
Oh.
Benefits the higher realms. K2 helps give final emancipation.
Now,
Let's-
does the ruler of the house count too?
Yes.
So
It
benefit ruler-
Ishtadevata rules.
Okay.
So I feel like a debilitated malefic planet and a benefic.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's stay here. This was all covered in the Ishtadevata class,
Mm.
which is now
When
online,
was that?
downloadable.
The
first class.
The first class we came.
Oh,
first
I wasn't
class.
here.
It's all, you can download that one. It's online
Okay.
now.
Where?
I did a lot of that transcribing. I
Yeah.
remember that you did.
SJC?
From Guruji's lecture. That was his first lecture, not my first lecture.
Yeah, yeah.
My first lecture was on Ishta.
But I heard all that. You mean all those gods and?
Yeah, all that's in here. This is where this is coming from. Read the next verse.
Okay. Where are we? If there are in conjunction Aries and Sagittarius, or K2 in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa, and they are aspected by a benefic planet, the native will attain final emancipation.
We're number 70 now.
If K2 is in the 4th or 12th in Kārakāṁśa, final emancipation will be granted.
So it's the same verse, but how you translate. Guruji, with the numerology and everything, translates it as the 4th and 12th house, which is 4th and 12th from Kārakāṁśa, which is a little bit better than Aries or Sagittarius. It's a little bit more correct to the way the writers are decoding things. But let's go a little. So it's saying, so the previous verse was saying if K2 was 12th from Kārakāṁśa, it's also saying also if it's 4th or 12th. The 4th house also, which if we go by trines, in the Navamsha, the 4th house is trine to the 12th house. So it's directly affecting that 12th house. So it's just as important for spirituality. Let's get to the next verse.
Okay. And if there is only K2 in the 12th house, and he is in conjunction with or is aspected by a malefic, the native will not attain final emancipation and will not see heaven.
So malefics cause problems with final emancipation and getting to the heavenly realms.
Okay.
Let's see, that's 71, I think.
Malefics in this place, 4th, 12th houses, deny deliverance from the cycle of rebirth.
Okay. So let's keep going. Yep.
Okay. Oh, excellent of the Brahmins. If there is K2 in conjunction with the sun, In the 12th house, the native will without doubt be a worshipper of Lord Shiva.
72.
The sun in Ketu in the 12th indicates a devotee of Shiva.
Okay. If in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa, Ketu is there, in conjunction with the moon, the native will be a devotee of Gauri,
Who's
the
Parvati?
consort of Lord Shiva.
Mm-hmm. And will be a
Shaktika.
a worshipper of the Divine Mother.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
If there is...
Jamini.
Oh, it says moon in the 12th house shows devotion towards Gauri, fair lady who is the consort of Lord Shiva and the Divine Mother.
If there is the conjunction of Ketu with Venus in the 12th from the Kārakāṁśa, the native's devotion will be in Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and he will be prosperous and wealthy.
74.
Venus in the 12th house shows devotion for Lakshmi.
Okay. Ketu in conjunction with Mars, the man will be worshipper of Skanda, the son of Lord Shiva, and he will worship Lord Vishnu if there is the conjunction of Mercury and Saturn.
No, and Saturn, Lord Shiva.
Oh, and Saturn,
No,
Lord Shiva.
yeah, and Mercury and Saturn, he's saying.
Okay.
Vishnu, yeah.
Lord Shiva if of Jupiter.
Okay. So go ahead, Jamini.
Mars in the 12th house shows devotion towards Skanda, Subramanya, the warrior god. Mercury or Saturn in the 12th indicates devotion towards Lord Vishnu.
Go ahead.
Jupiter in the 12th indicates devotion towards Samba Shiva.
Samba Shiva.
Samba Shiva.
Shiva, it's a higher form of Shiva.
Oh.
Some people say Samba Sada Shiva. Okay.
In case Rahu be there in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa, the native will worship Kali Durga or some mean deity.
Go ahead, 78.
Rahu in the 12th shows devotion towards Tamasi or Durga.
If there is only Ketu in the said 12th house, the native's devotion will be for Skanda or Ganesh, the two sons of Lord Shiva and his consort Gauri.
79.
Ketu in the 12th shows devotion towards Ganapati or Skanda.
If in the 12th house from the Kārakāṁśa there is a malefic sign Saturn, then also there is no doubt in it that the native will be a worshipper of a mean deity. And if Saturn and Venus in conjunction occupy a malefic sign there, then also the native will be a worshipper of mean deity. The same effect is to be predicted if they, Saturn and Venus in conjunction, are in the 6th Navamsha from the
Amatya
Amatya Karaka's Navamsha.
Okay, first, you go ahead and read the,
Amatya.
read from where you left off.
Saturn in the 12th house in a malefic sign shows inclination for black magic, devilish worship, and spirits. Venus in the 12th in a malefic sign gives similar results.
And one more.
These results are also to be examined from the 6th from the Amatya Karaka.
What is 6 from Amatya Karaka? 6 from Amatya Karaka. Palana Devata.
What is it?
Palana Devata. You missed that class.
Oh, I missed that.
But it's online right now, so you can download it and listen to it.
Alright.
Is that on your website?
Yeah, the Vyasa.
Cool.
They didn't mention Mercury in the 12th from
They said Mercury and Saturn show Vishnu.
Like it's only Mercury then.
Only no, either or.
Okay.
Mercury, generally, if it's Mercury, it's some form of some rupa of Vishnu. And if it's Saturn, you do Narayan.
What do you mean,
Or
Rupa
Vishnu.
of Vishnu? Name?
An avatar.
Like Rama?
Yeah, any type because Mercury changes. If it's pure Mercury, you do a straight Vishnu. If it's Mercury with another planet, then you do that form of Vishnu.
What if it's one of Mercury's houses? No planets.
Then just straight Vishnu.
Straight Vishnu.
Yeah. All the Ishtadevata rules for this. And then right here, both Jaimini and Parashara give the Atma Karaka. They don't explain why. They just say, also see this 6 from Amati Karaka. That's all he says. He doesn't say why, he doesn't say what the difference is, he doesn't say when do you see it, he just says also use these rules. So in that same way, the Palana Devata, we see 6 from Amati Karaka. So the Ishta Devata helps us remove our soul's desires so we can be liberated. Frees our soul from desire. The Palana Devata is the one that supports us and helps us maintain this universe. Helps us maintain ourselves here. Okay? So that teaching is supported right here. You see it both Jaimini and Parashara. It's not Jaimini Jyotish. It's pure Parashara right here. And his student. Okay. So we have 2 more pages.
Okay. 75?
Yep, so you're on 83 when she comes to you.
Got it.
O Brahman, if there are situated 2 malefic planets in a triune from the Kārakāṁśa, the native will have knowledge of mantra, sacred spells, and tantra, mystical formula, for the worship of deities for attainment of supernatural powers. If they, the malefic planets, are aspected by a malefic planet, the native will use his knowledge for evil purposes, will use it as black magic. But if they are aspected by a benefic planet, he will use it for good purposes.
Okay, go for it.
If 2 malefics are in trines, the native gains 1st, 5th, or 9th house. The native gains expertise in spells and occult knowledge.
Keep going.
The malefics in trines, when aspected by other malefics, gives expertise in black magic. Malefics in trines, when aspected by benefics, gives expertise in white magic.
Okay, so this one is primarily seen from Kārakāṁśa. So do you have, what do you have, do you have any malefics trines from your Kārakāṁśa? Your
Means 5th or 9th.
Yep, and 1st, 5th, or 9th. What's your Kārakāṁśa first?
My Kārakāṁśa is the moon.
Is the moon. So it's a benefic planet. So less likely already. A malefic Atmakaraka already predisposes somebody to be into mantras and tantra. Already.
A malefic?
Do we have malefics? Any malefics in shrines?
Any malefic? Any malefic?
Any malefic?
Will dispose one to be, if it's the Atmakaraka, will dispose one to be in the mantras and tantra?
Mantras and tantra. Tantra and mantra.
Okay.
No, my 5th from the moon is Gemini. There's nothing
No
there.
planets? 9th?
And then 9 is Venus.
Okay, so you're not trying to do any big tantra and learn any crazy spells and magic.
No.
No.
She was with the Rajni.
Yeah, but that's a different type of tantra. We're talking about like the old traditional like tantric text tantra. You know, with setting up the big pujas and doing the spells and doing the mantras and the homas and things of
Well,
that
actually, I don't like it.
Tantra.
I don't like the rituals.
Yeah.
So you
Well, that's the thing because you don't have malefics. What about who has malefics trining there?
I do.
Yeah, how many?
I have Rahu, Atmakaraka,
So already predisposes you.
Mars, 9th from that, and then Saturn is looking at Rahu.
Okay, that's not good.
That's not good.
You mean it's in
No.
the 7th?
Because
It's 7th from Rahu.
So, because the thing is, malefics in the trine make somebody do the tantra. If malefics are aspecting, it makes the person do the tantra for negative things.
Yeah.
If benefics are aspecting, it makes the person do the tantra for good things.
Oh. I'm being good though.
Yeah.
I've learned my
What do you
lesson.
have- what do you have?
Oh, he's already been there.
What do you have in trine?
I have Rahu trines.
Rahu and trines, just one?
Yeah, just Rahu.
Okay, benefic or malefic aspects?
Ketu and the sun.
K2 and the sun, so good, spiritual reasons.
Okay.
Oh, it is?
I was really into those Robert Svoboda's Agora books.
I know.
When he first wrote them.
That's your Rahu.
I mean, I didn't do anything. I just was fascinated.
Only because you have one.
Oh, okay.
If you had more than one, then you would be.
Into it.
Then you'd go out and be doing some of it.
No.
But you only have one, so you have interest in it, but you don't take it that much farther.
I like mantras and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See all these books here?
Uh-huh.
I have Venus as my Atmakaraka with Rahu and Saturn trying.
Oh.
Oh.
You too.
Plenty of books on the topic.
Why wouldn't Sun and Ketu be considered malefics?
They're spiritual. They're good
Okay.
for that purpose.
So I would be doing mantras for good reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to be careful of this guy though.
I don't have any malefics
Uh-huh.
trying, but in the same house, I have K2 in the sun as my Atmakaraka.
Okay, they're not really.
It's not the same thing.
Not as much. Some little bit, but.
So Tantra for next lifetime.
You're right.
Tantra in next lifetime.
It's a light.
I know.
Interesting.
It's better when Guruji starts talking about Tantra or the goddess after sunset, lights blow. Well, I watched once he started talking about the goddess after sunset. The whole neighborhood blew out. Just our neighborhood. You looked at all the other neighborhoods and they all had electricity. And then as soon as he got done giving the lecture, the lights went back on.
Wow.
Was that here in your house?
No, that was in India. Lights break, things fall off the shelf. Like,
That's because India's not very.
no. That's when you have the siddhis of certain mantras and you speak of the things, then things happen. So we got a little bit more. Let's try and break through this. So
75? No. Okay, we're on 77.
77.
If the moon is in the Kārakāṁśa, is aspected by Venus, the native will be an
Now
alchemist.
I'm just going to change. Right here, it's saying if the moon is in the Swamsha. If you look at the Sanskrit, it says Swamsha there. He wrote Kārakāṁśa, but it's Parashara saying Swamsha. If the moon is in the Swamsha,
Okay, is aspected by Venus, the native will be alchemist.
will be into Rasa Shastra, the science of Mercury.
Wow.
That's neat. I have that.
Yeah?
And also, you didn't ask me, but my Atmakaraka is moon, and I've got it aspected by Mercury and Venus.
So you see the Rasa Shastra right there.
What's Rasa Shastra?
The science of medicines in Ayurveda.
Oh, okay.
Are you into that?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
You're into science and Ayurveda? Oh, okay. Okay. If she is aspected by Mercury, he will be Vaidya,
A Vedya, which is a
Vedya.
doctor.
a man of Indian medicine or a doctor.
Having the ability to cure all diseases.
Wow.
How's that sound, Mary?
Sounds better than doing black magic.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you see it faster?
So Gemini 86.
Oh. The moon in Swamsha, aspected by Venus, gives capability to deal with liquids and chemicals.
Keep going.
Mercury aspecting the moon in Swamsha produces a doctor or gives work related to medicine.
Okay.
Should we keep going?
Yeah.
If the moon is in the fourth house from the Kārakāṁśa and is aspected by Venus, the native will be afflicted with white leprosy.
Keep going.
If she is aspected by Mars, he will be patient of the disorders of blood and bile.
Rakta Pitta and Maharoga is the Sanskrit. Keep
And
going.
if she is aspected by Ketu, he will be afflicted by black leprosy.
Let's go into Gemini.
Moon in the fourth in Swamsha, aspected by Venus, indicates leukoderma, or even leprosy. If Mars aspects the moon in the fourth, white leprosy is caused.
And the Sanskrit says Maharoga, great disease.
What is it?
Maharoga, it says,
Maharoga.
great disease.
Great disease.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. K2 aspecting the moon in the fourth indicates bluish leprosy.
It's a disease there I've never heard of, so. It says bluish color.
Bluish color.
He translated as blue leprosy.
Oh.
I don't know.
If in the fourth or the fifth house from the Kārakāṁśa there is Rahu and Mars, the native will be a patient of consumption, and it will be a certainty if they, Mars and Rahu, receive the aspect of the moon. If there is only Mars in the fourth,
Let's
okay.
91.
If Rahu and Mars are in the 4th or 5th from Swamsha, tuberculosis is indicated.
So the word for tuberculosis is kshaya, which means wasting.
Oh.
So it's a wasting disease. And these days people don't get tuberculosis as much. But what does kshaya, wasting, mean in our culture? We got rid of tuberculosis, what do they get instead?
They get AIDS.
Oh, AIDS, yeah.
AIDS.
I don't know. One to look and see the charts of, but just to know, it's kshaya, wasting. Kshaya. Okay, keep going. 92.
If the moon also aspects joins the combination in the preceding stanza, the disease is sure to occur.
Okay, go ahead, Rasha.
If there is only Mars in the 4th or the 5th house from the Kārakāṁśa, the combination will cause ulcers. There is no doubt in it. And the situation of Ketu will cause dysentery.
Okay, now I'm going to just stop here because all this is actually repeating.
Yeah.
All this was in the previous fifth house. So the whole rest of this section here, all the way to 86, was already said in the 5th house section of the Kārakāṁśa. And the next section, from 87 to 92, half of that was already done. And we can move down to all the way to verse 93. Because everything has already been said in that whole section. It's repeating.
Okay. If Ketu be there in the 2nd or the 3rd house from the Kārakāṁśa, the native will have defective speech. And if there is the aspect of a malefic on him, the defect in speech will be greater and the man will not be able to speak.
118, Gemini.
Ketu in the 2nd aspected by malefics produces stammering, other speech defects.
Okay, K2. Primarily, I haven't seen this too much, but I also haven't seen anybody's charts with speech defects yet. So, this is one, if you see some speech defects, bring the chart so we can all
I know
learn.
somebody that's got that.
And would they have the K2 there?
I don't know. I haven't seen his chart, but I
Well,
know he's got speech defects.
Okay, well bring the chart and then let's look at it so we can see whether we look at this from a Ruda Lagna, Kārakāṁśa, or Navamsha Lagna.
Could you repeat the formula?
K2 second.
But
Second
Rasta
house
says
K2.
third house too. That was interesting.
He says second or third, but
Yeah.
Jaimini only says second.
Yeah.
So-
I know someone who Taurus Lagna, Rashi, Lord of the 2nd, Mercury, into the 12th house. So the Lord of the 2nd house switch into the 12th house. And this person had a stuttering problem all the way until he was 21, 22. He had to do speech therapy.
So it was Mercury in the 12th house?
Yes. And it's Rashi.
Uh-huh.
And it's I believe it's combust or in a planetary
And
world.
only till 21?
Well, yeah, to go to therapies.
Uh-huh. Did they start therapies at 17?
I don't remember. I
Okay.
can check, yeah.
Bring both of these
I can
charts so
bring
we
it.
can look at the K2s.
I have Ketu in the 2nd in my Rashi.
Uh-huh.
And I remember a little problem with a lift when I was little. And I had to see I was probably 9 or 8 or something. And it saw a therapist briefly
And it went away.
went away. I have Jupiter aspect in Ketu, so that
So you
might
have
have-
Jupiter aspects,
yeah.
so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good speech therapist then. So bring these charts and we'll look at them all to see the difference. What happens if it's from Lagna? What happens if it's from the Vamsha Lagna? If it's from Kārakāṁśa, is it incurable? Like, how do we... If we look at a lot of these. Most of what I do half the time when I'm studying these Arudas is I look at 50 charts and I just look at that Aruda in 50 different charts and see what the effect is.
I heard
And
that when he
compare it.
gets really drunk, he doesn't have any speech defect.
When he's drunk, he doesn't have. So the alcohol cures it. There must be a Saturn connection then. It'll be interesting to see.
Would being a drunk though to have Ketu in the 2nd house somehow?
That's to be a drunk. You have to have Saturn
He's
connected
not a
to
drunk.
Lagna and Aruda Lagna.
Lagna and
But she's saying
Not
just
drunk.
when
I'm
he
just
is
saying,
drunk.
I know somebody who was around him when he was drunk, and they said his total speech thing went away, but I don't think he's regularly drunk.
So then he should go see a hypnotherapist.
Maybe he's already tried.
I don't know, but if when things like that happen, it means that it's more in the mind than it is physical. So, yeah. Okay.
But being drunk, isn't that Rahu related?
Saturn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is
A drunk, somebody who drinks alcohol, an alcoholic. The combination for an alcoholic is Saturn connected to both the Lagna and a Ruda Lagna.
it's poison, and Rahu is poison?
Saturn, yeah, but it's a different type of poison.
Mhm.
Different drugs and chemicals have different lords. And alcohol is Saturn's drug. So, yeah. You drink alcohol, you're putting Saturn into you. And some people even use alcohol as a remedy for Saturn, which Sanjay says, stay away from such remedies. But you have other astrologers to say, oh, it's Saturn Dasha. Make sure you have a drink every day to keep Saturn happy. So it's but the people that are alcoholics, you'll see, if Saturn's connected to the Lagna, it makes somebody who drinks alcohol. If Saturn is connected to a Ruda Lagna, people drink when they go out. They're just social drinkers. When it's connected to both, it makes them an alcoholic. Because they drink socially, they drink when they're alone, so they're drinking all the time.
You Saturn and Lagna.
Happens, right?
Maybe depends on the conditions. Because my friend
All my
Jack-
secrets.
There are no secrets.
Well, you know what's funny? It's just like
In Jyotish, there are none. Just
we're
be
all
you.
just like here doing our little dance.
We're all just here doing our dance. And,
Oh, sure,
and
we
you
all
know,
want to.
some people, they hide their charts. You'll never see them. They'll hide it as if it's worth $1 billion. Guruji, as soon as you become a student, it's online on the internet.
No, you don't even have to become a student.
You don't even have to be a student. Anybody can go and download my chart, his chart, any SJC guru's charts.
They all have it right there.
It's all right there. You
It's
have
part of
to.
your like bio.
It's your bio. Look at the
Right.
chart. I mean, the average student can't read it, but when you know Jyotish, it's right there. And Sanjay says, just be you.
I've never seen teachers do that.
Just be you.
Different charts are different because, for instance, this person, Jacqueline,
Uh-huh.
she has Saturn exalted on the ascendant.
Uh-huh.
She cannot drink at all.
But it's exalted.
It's exalted, yeah.
So it's acting like Vishnu. It's a
Right.
whole different story.
Good.
Remember, a malefic exalted is acting like Vishnu.
Good, good. No, because you know what? I'm just remembering another woman,
Mm-hmm.
Sagittarius ascendant,
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter in the Lagna,
Mm-hmm.
Saturn there too. And she was having a drinking problem.
Yeah. It had to be connected to the Aruda Lagna as well. If you look, it has some aspects on the Aruda Lagna. And it doesn't mean forever.
Right, right.
There's dashas that they'll be addicted and dashas that they won't. But they'll have to do something to appease that Saturn to get off of alcohol. They have to take care of that Saturn. Saturn is, fixing that Saturn is the remedy.
Curious, what plant is marijuana?
Right. Yeah.
And
Straight Radha.
smoking too. I see a lot of people have.
It depends what you're smoking.
I saw some. I
cigarettes,
saw.
Because smoking, in general, is Mars. To light fire and to take it into you. In Ayurveda, they recommend smoking herbs as a remedy in the spring to get rid of excess kapha. And for certain nasal and head disorders, the herbs are smoked. So but it's heating. So it's only used for kapha people. So it's a Mars-connected remedy. But what you're smoking then changes. Tobacco is more connected to Saturn. Marijuana is connected to Rahu. So we have to then, where you can also smoke, you can smoke Gota Cola and Brahmi and Jatamansi. And then you can go sit and meditate and have very sattvic meditations.
Wow.
The smoke actually coming from the cigarette is connected to
They
Ketu.
smoked us.
Yeah.
What they smoked you with the
Yeah, I went to an Ayurvedic thing in India one time
Uh-huh.
where they smoked us. They had these
Uh-huh.
things. We didn't
Yeah.
smoke it like,
Yeah.
but it was, they put us in this thing with smoke.
Yeah, when I was doing my internship in India in an Ayurvedic clinic, I saw these advertisements. This company was trying to sell herbal cigarettes, like already pre-rolled, just trying to sell them like normal cigarettes. I don't know how well they did because I haven't seen them around too much, but It's a great idea. If you're going to smoke, at least smoke Brahmi and Jatamansi. Okay, one more section here.
94?
94.
93?
And you're on 119.
Okay, it's, we're on 94. Okay.
Yep, you're on 94. Prashra.
If in the second or the eighth house from the Kārakāṁśa or the ascendant Pada, there is the combination of malefics, it will form the Kamadruma Yoga. And this yoga will be severe if the moon's aspect be there.
Okay, 119.
Malefic simultaneously in the second and eighth houses from Lagna, Aruda Lagna, and Swamsha cause Kamadruma Yoga.
Kamadruma Yoga.
Kamadruma Yoga.
Go one more.
If the moon aspects the second, eighth house having malefics, abject poverty is caused.
Okay, so Guruji here in his Upadesha Sutras, he gives a little side note here. And he says if this Kamadruma, second and eighth, malefic second and eighth, and the other day I watched Visti, he saw a chart that was had malefic second and eighth, the person saying, this person's suffering. That's all they said, and they gave the data. Visti said, yeah, he can't make any money. Terrible financial suffering is Kamadruma, malefic second and eighth. And the guy said, yes, exactly my problem.
In the Rashi?
In the Rashi.
In the second,
But so look at what Prashra says. He says Kārakāṁśa or ascendant Pada. That means Aruda Lagna, the Pada of the ascendant. So Aruda Lagna. Jaimini says, Aruda Lagna or Swamsha. And so Guruji says, if the yoga is from the Lagna or Navamsha, the effects are felt throughout life. So Lagna, Navamsha Lagna, you feel it. It's poverty through life. If from the Aruda Lagna, it indicates financial downturns at certain periods of time. If it's from the Kārakāṁśa, the person doesn't want wealth. They don't like money. They don't want wealth. They don't want to work. They don't want to make money. So they're choosing poverty in their life. So 3 different ways to see this.
Does it have to be in both second and eighth, or just one of the two?
Yeah.
Both of them.
I mean, I'm living in each one.
Yeah.
In each one, okay.
When both are destroyed.
And the nodes count?
Yeah. Not if it's just Rahu will count.
Well, they have to be.
K2 won't do the damage.
Oh, okay.
So if it's Rahu there, that's 1. There has to be another planet there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
K2 doesn't count as a malefic.
It has
Not
to
in the same way.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said, both.
Right.
Simultaneously.
But Rahu K2, then automatically everybody with that combination would be
Right.
suffering financial problems.
Oh, right.
So just where Rahu is the main malefic.
Okay, just wrong.
It's not that K2 is or isn't a malefic, but he's just not. He's not, for this rule. It's Rahu, Saturn, and Mars that we're looking at.
I have all that. Rahu, Saturn, Mars, second 8 axis.
From where?
From Lagna.
From like that. What do you have? You have Rahu,
Rahu, Mars in second, Saturn, Moon, Mercury, Ketu in 8.
Moon, Mercury are there though, so
Yeah.
they're breaking it.
Oh.
And are either one well placed? The malefics. Okay. Well, that Mercury and Moon are breaking it, and that's what's breaking other things.
But Moon is in Marana Karakasthana.
Yeah, but it's still breaking it. Both Moon and Mercury are breaking it. So let's go to the next.
Okay. O Brahman?
Mm-hmm.
O Brahman, all the combinations and their effects that have been spoken of by me in this chapter should be known to be givers of their effects during the dasha periods that cause these combinations.
Jaimini. 121.
The results will manifest during the dashas of the signs or planets concerned.
Okay, Prashra.
In the same way, these will be givers of effects if in the second or the eighth houses there is the sign that causes the dasha period.
Keep going.
The Kamadruma Yoga.
That's all Jaimini said is the results will manifest in the dashas of the signs and planets.
Okay.
He ends. Prashra gives a very long-winded.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and
The
read it.
Kamadruma Yoga or combination should be known to be inauspicious if there are planets in these houses. The position of the planets should be found out along with that of the ascendant at the beginning of the dasha period. This yoga, the Kamadruma yoga, should also be known if there is the combination of the malefics in the second or the eighth houses. Similarly, the effects should be spoken of by the learned astrologers of the ascendant, etc., houses of the sun, etc., planets according to their respective situations. Thus ends the effects of the Kārakāṁśas as spoken of by me in short.
He says in short. That's his brief summary of the topic. Okay. So we all see the incredible similarity between these two chapters in both of these books. And we all have a deeper understanding of Kārakāṁśa and a lot to think about and meditate on and go back and study for the next 2 weeks, yeah?
A lot.
And yeah, it's a lot of information. It's really a thick, juicy chapter. And now that we have some reason to understand it, I still go back and I've looked at this chapter, again and again. I've taken notes on it. I don't even refer most of the time to the book. I refer to the notes that I took on it because I redid the notes really clear and made graphs and I actually took notes on this whole book, and I have a little notebook that has everything paraphrased and graphed.
On the whole Brihāt?
No, Upadeshas. Yeah.
What
And
does
so
Upadesha mean?
it means Upa means secondary, and Desha means it's Upadesha. The third house is the house of Upadesha. It's the teachings of the Guru. So this is Jaimini giving his Upadesha, giving his teachings. This is what I learned from my Guru. This is what I learned. This is Parashara's.
Why did you say third house?
The third house gives Upadesha. It's the seventh from the ninth. So the third house and the A3 shows your Upadesha. Well, so the third house shows short journeys. It's like you go to see the Guru to get some advice, and then you come home.
So going to an astrologer?
Yeah, it's also getting some Upadesha.
Coming here?
Yeah, this is Upadesha. Yeah, you're getting mine and Sanjay's Upadesha right now. And so this Upadesha Sutras is Jaimini saying, hey, Parashara taught me this. This is if like here it's Hora Shastra. It's a main text. He's saying this is the scripture of astrology. This is not. This is saying these are the teachings of the Guru. So it's so that's why we say that Jaimini being the student of Parashara, this was written to be able to understand this. So you use this and see how we were reading it back and forth.
That's how we should study.
It's meant to be able to understand this better. And there's other books that are written in the same way as books that we read to understand the main text.